Yo, step up. Place best, this moment's ours. Summit up the mountain, feeling the powers. Counting gains, no shame in it to win it. Roll the dice, double down, life's a limit. Kings on this court, ruling the game from the top of the world. Calling my name, no hesitation, just celebration in sight. Raise the stakes, we're living for a hype. Yeah, hit the summit, best high, watch and grow. This the life it chose. Let the states flow.
And we are back for segment 3. You know what I got to say? We actually got a pretty cool compliment the other day as I lounge. I'm going to lounge a little bit. It's getting late on Thursday nights. I'm going to sit back. I got my feet up on my desk. Friend of the show, Michael Jackson. Not that one. Our friend Michael Jackson, the one who's still alive. He goes to me. He watched our last week's episode. He's like, yo. He's like, What was that? What was that theme song that you had? What was that? I'm like, oh, you like that? He's like, yeah. What was that? I was like, oh, that's an AI song. AI made us that song.
It's beautiful, man. I love it.
I like it. It gets me hyped up.
I love it. Hold on. Let's get you guys back here. Let's bring these up here. All right. So
get into it, man.
Listen, we were all pretty much in lockstep this week. You're going to notice that there aren't many differences between us. Obviously, we're all on Baltimore. The game's going on right now. Live, it is 28-6. The Dolphins are doing pretty much what I thought they would do.
Shit.
We're split on the Bears. Here we go. So we're split on the Bears and Bengals. Money and I are taking the road dog Cincinnati Bengals. We got a sweep on the Lions and the Packers. Money ball. Here you go. Here's your chance. Lone wolf me and talk me out of the Chargers and into the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, man. I think the game is not that interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's just going to be one of these spots where you look at last week, even the week before that, the trend has been the favorites covering for a while now. I think it does kind of revert back to where, there'll be those games where the team will cover, but it has to be the right spot. And I think the Chargers are a road team in this game. I think what the Titans have been building on offense is a little intriguing to me. Like I mentioned earlier on one of our segments, DK, man. DK looks good. I even saw a moment where, him and Elik Ayamor, I can't pronounce his last name, but they were dabbing each other up on the sidelines and just being hype about what they're producing on the field. Do I love the team? No. Do I like the spot at, 9.5, 10.5, whatever line you're getting? I kind of like it. I think the Chargers are not a team that has consistently blown people off the field. They're typically in those situations within a field goal or a touchdown. I just think it could be closer than people are expecting. And the Chargers are coming off a good win against the Vikings, who we know have a pretty solid defense. But like we mentioned last week, they were beat up pretty heavily. Carson Wentz couldn't do anything. With the amount of time they did have the ball, you would expect some longer drives out of that team. Just was not happening. So I like the movement of the Chargers, but do I love it enough to take 10.5 and feel confident about it? Not really. So that's really the only lean in that game.
I'll tell you this: I like them better when I said it was a division game. Obviously, it's not. It's been a long week, man.
I mean, listen. The Chargers have 3 losses, right? They lost to the Giants. Okay, no worries. Okay, the Giants are up and down. They lost to Washington. That was a shitty loss. Yeah. And then they lost to Indy 38-24, the way Indy's been playing. But they've beaten KC, Denver. That's it. All right. So anyway, I just don't like the Titans. You did not talk me out of it. You got a lone wolf howl for us here.
I just think if you're betting for teams to cover, you got better options than the Chargers to do it this week. I get the matchup. I get Tennessee, but they're home team. You never know what's going to happen there, and I think the
Yeah.
Titans can move the ball down the field enough to cover 10 points in a, kind of a shootout scenario. I don't think either defense is amazing by any means, so I expect it to be a high-scoring game. If anything, take the over, avoid the spread. That's it.
All right.
Start
And
DK
then we're all
in
on
fantasy.
New England, right? We've already talked about the Falcons. Here you go. A lone wolf for my man, Shawnee V. The floor is yours. Talk me
Right.
into the Giants.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I like the Giants. I really like Jackson Dart. Dable has not exactly shown me much as of lately, but I am a fan of the D line of the Giants, and obviously Jackson Dart. Scatterboo being out definitely hurts. The guy is dynamic. I thought he was on pace to be the rookie of the year on offense potentially in the NFL. They're just been kind of the next man up though. They've had a lot of injuries. They've had the receiving core obviously shaken up since they lost Malik Neighbors. I just think that this game more than anything is you're getting a handful of points at home, another home team like Evan just mentioned, similar situation, and I just think San Fran playing with their backup quarterback still and Mac Jones and a lot of injuries, I would feel confident picking them, getting the spread if Scatterboo was there. But I think this is a very close game. I don't think either team is definitively better in their current state. So I'll take the home team, the home dog getting the points. That's it.
All right.
I don't hate it.
No
I
worries.
think the odds for that game are interesting. I mean, even with that loss with Scatabo, they're still plus 120. That's the second closest besides the Bills for this week. So it's not impossible by any means. I think it's just tough. San Francisco's obviously on back-to-back away games now, so that kind of plays a factor. But I just think for the loss last week to Houston, not really having a good track record, I kind of trust the 49ers to put up consistent work on the field, and I'm not going to, sway my opinion of that just on 1 week where I already have told you guys the odds for that game were looking like the books were back in the Texans for some reason, and we saw what ended up happening. Stroud threw for 4 tutties. It's just these teams have good players. It's who can execute on the day and tracking and seeing what is going on in people's minds for the games. 90% on the spread for the 49ers last week. It's dipped down this week, so that's where I'm kind of leaning to. They're still a favorite. I think they should be in this game. I think McCaffrey is still an absolute monster on the field. And if you can work in Kittle and some other guys, I don't see this Giants defense stopping them. That the Giants in one quarter gave up 30-plus points to a Broncos team, which we know is good, but 30 points, I don't trust a defense that allows that any week. I think you could easily exploit that as the 49ers.
They only scored 33 in the whole game, and they scored 30 in the fourth. So they did pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
They did it, yeah. Good for a while
Very
until it mattered.
confusing.
And then what? We had a missed extra point at the end, right? They got the ball back. Some of those points were lucky. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Giants.
I'm not either.
I think losing Neighbors, Scatterboo. I know they
Yeah,
got Tracy. I know they got Wan'Dale Robinson. They've got Darius Slayton, but I don't know. I mean, I think Jackson Dart, he plays awesome, but I could see him just getting hurt. Running around near crazy, not sliding, trying to be a tough guy, which I love. Don't get me wrong, but when he's your quarterback, you want that dude getting down.
And the 49ers play physical football. Like, there's no question they're going to be ready to play.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, even though they lost Fred Warner, they're still a pretty decent D. I know they look bad against the Texans, but hey, listen, we thought the Texans was going to be great this year, so maybe they're just showing a little spice of life that the spark that we all thought was coming. I mean, look at this Indy. We're all on Indy. We've all come around to Indy. I love it. Even Marcus gave us an Indy here. I love it.
It only took 7 wins.
The odds for this game also don't make any sense. Pittsburgh's plus 140. They just looked honestly pretty atrocious to me against Green Bay. You had expectations of the whatever he wanted to do against the Packers. It obviously didn't really manifest on the field. So I just think Rodgers is not the answer or a playoff level quarterback at this point in his career. I think the man can barely move out of the pocket. He's very, very susceptible to pickoffs and, tapping his passes at the line. The Colts are playing good, man. How can you fade this team right now?
Yep.
For minus 166, some of the best value on the entire board. Easily.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the late slate. Got Denver. Actually, I think Denver's still an early game. I just ran out of room. But got Denver, clean sweep. This is where we're a little split, but this is a tough game. You never know what you're going to get from the Jags. I mean, we got ETN on our roster a couple weeks into the season.
Wishful thinking.
Like the steal of the draft, and then all of a sudden he hasn't done shit. But
they don't give him the ball anymore.
The Jaguars' identity is just like it's
right.
bad right now.
Yeah, the guy's amazing, and then they give the ball to Tootin. Like I don't understand.
Yes, but then again, the Raiders they've been looking like shit. So someone's got to win this game. So
is Raiders are coming off a bye, or is Jacksonville coming off a bye? I forget.
Jacksonville's coming off a bye.
I think both teams are.
Oh, okay. Well,
let's see.
The Raiders didn't play last week.
Oh,
all right, so
gotcha.
That's fair. Fair fight.
All right. Yeah,
dude,
nice. Yep, Raiders.
Yep. I think also, just to give you guys a perspective of this entire slate, there is 4 games on the 1 o'clock slate that have low odds, possible underdogs coming out. And then 3 out of these final 4 have, kind of lower odds, pretty close. But we know how the Commanders have looked. I think, obviously, we know Pittsburgh, kind of crappy situation. The Giants, some injury questionable things. Cincinnati obviously didn't look good last week. So where are these underdogs coming out at is my question. I think the Raiders are one of these teams this week that is getting 7% on the money line at plus 130 and just got an explosive weapon back in Brock Bowers. So as far as trajectory-wise, better than last week or better than before the bye. And Jags are just – can you say anything good besides the win against the Chiefs? I can't.
I'll put it this way. Here's the Raiders 3 games before the bye. They lost 40-6 to the Colts. They won 20-10 at home against the Titans, which who cares? And they lost 31-0 to the Chiefs. They have a bye week. I don't think Geno Smith is the answer. I know that Pete Carroll loved him and brought him over, and I wish we had Marcus back to give us, his Pete Carroll rah-rah story. I mean, that guy is the oldest coach in the league. I mean, Brock Bowers is great, but, I mean, once they double him, I mean, Michael Mayer's a good tight end too, but, I mean, Jacoby Myers is on the trading block. I just think that team is ready for an 0-7 end to the season. I don't know. That's just my take. I mean, listen, we're all high on the Rams. Right?
I'm never a guy sitting here who would back the Raiders typically. Against the spread this week, I think it's an interesting spot, but I don't – to say I'm going to come out here on Sunday and go, let's throw some hammering money on the Raiders. Not a high probability, but I'm also not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to slam the Jags. I think they're in a kind of a weird spot on the slate for something bad to happen. So,
I mean, listen, somebody's got to win this game. I mean, that's just the luck of the draw here,
Very true.
So moving on, the Rams, obviously we're all high on the Rams. It's a 3-1 split. Moneyball, we're going to give you another chance to explain why we should take the Bills minus 1.5 at home.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the signs are leading me to value this week. I think, like I mentioned, there's 7 close games with these underdogs. There's about 4 of them that I really do not like the underdog and think the money line option is way too close, and the public is reflecting that. I just think the dip in the percentage from about 50-50 on the total bet. So you would expect for this matchup to have that ratio. I think there's so many fans that love both of these teams where people are just throwing, a pick-me in any parlay. So that makes sense. But then you're dropping to 19% on a plus 110 team who's at home. Those are typically a spot, I don't care who's playing, and that I'm looking at. So I know the defense has not performed well. I know we still got some injuries looming. And the Chiefs, on the flip side, can move the ball down the field. But what I love about these games is we're not backing down from this fight. I think our offense with Cook, if he is cooking and doing what he should be doing, he could easily put up over 80 yards and be a big factor in this game. We also should get him some receiving work. I think we don't often enough kind of utilize our players in the best way possible. But there is a formula to win this game, and I hope they can really put it together to get it done. But the entire lean is to try and get the value out of this slate. Like I said, we've had 2 weeks of a lot of favorites winning. So the underdogs that I like for this weekend and that I know have the potential to be good teams and beat good teams, those are the teams that will be getting my money this weekend. So,
all right, fair enough. And listen, like I said, if we were betting with our hearts, we are all picking the Bills, right?
Of course.
I mean, we're all hoping that they win out, and then obviously we play in the AFC Championship, and maybe we win, maybe we don't, but we're hoping that they make it. I mean, and listen, who in their right mind, east of the Mississippi River likes the Chiefs, right? So you got the whole half of the country rooting for you. Sunday night, prime time. The Bills like to play prime time. They usually do pretty well prime time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close, but I think the spread is just so small. I mean, you're really picking the winner, So the spread, I think, really has nothing to do with it. I just look at Worthy and Rashee Rice and all their weapons, and I just say, hey, man, just the litmus test for me is that the Bills have to play out of their mind defensively, to stop the Chiefs from scoring 28. I mean,
another good point I want to mention that I was talking with my dad, who's a big Bills fan. He is in the same spot you are, Sean, of really questioning that defense.
Yep.
And I get it, man. Like, I really do. But I just think if you were to take any bet for this game, decide the team you like and buy them up, because a lot of these games have been close as we can ever see it be. I just think the team that wins this game early on in the season is going to kind of run away with it. So I think that certainly could be the Chiefs. But if you're thinking the Chiefs, don't be scared like the books want you to with the 1.5 spread. Buy them to destroy the Bills, because if that's going to be the case, the Chiefs are going to throw for 300 yards and destroy us. So it's play into that scenario and make yourself extra money. Don't sit here and, I can't decide who's going to win. Just pick the team you like and buy it up and see what you can hit, because there's a good chance one of them runs away.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, man. And then there's really nothing to talk about Sunday night, Monday night.
Pretty straightforward there.
Yeah, Cowboys, Cardinals. Not a lot to say for the Cardinals. Is Murray healthy?
I think he's coming back, and that was one of the reasons that I was thinking that they might give Dallas a fit. But I mean, they haven't proven to me.
Dallas has been the most back and forth team in the NFL this year. Besides the
They're
one
at
time,
home.
It's literally gone win loss. So if you're just if you're back in the basic trends, the Cowboys win here. I also think the Cardinals just stink, man. I've never been a fan of them. I think losing to Tennessee is about the bottom line that you can get. That would be worse to me if I was a Cardinals fan than the Falcons losing 30-0 to the Panthers, probably.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Sean? Anything in this slate of games you want to chat about?
No. I like the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a solid pick at home to win by a field goal. I don't really see any issues there. That's pretty easy pick for the late game, or that's Monday. So, I would definitely be betting on them.
Awesome. All right. Well, so those are our picks. We'll let you know next week how we did. I picked a couple. So here, I haven't done any other segments. I don't really give out much picks, and I don't really worry about money line. I know Evan does a lot of that for us. I'm a feel guy. I know we talked about the San Francisco 49ers. I know we talked about the Jags, but when you look at it, right, they're both minus 150, 160. That gets you plus 170. And I could see both of these road teams winning. I know they're favorite. So, I mean, why not? Like I said, we're not always trying to give out these crazy long shots and, 10-1 and parlays like that. I just think that this might be a real safe Road Warrior day.
Hold on,
we're going back. We're going back. What do you got?
The only replacement I would make to that play is keep the 49ers, but change the Jags to the Colts. The Colts are minus 170, I believe. So if you want a little bit better value for a better team, in my opinion, I would go that way.
All right.
Very similar odds, though.
So this one was so I had a hard time with this. I love home dogs. I mean, that's something I've always looked at just from my betting past and history. I like the Bengals being a home dog this week, but then it kind of stopped there. So I had to add a G, and what G to add, but the dog,
baby.
Snoop-a-Loop.
Snoop-a-Loop. Bring your green hat.
Snoop in the over, streaking to the quad.
Got to get some gin and juice going.
Yeah. Betting on the Bengals.
Let's go, Mike. Yes, sir. I love a home dog.
We like that. We like to have fun here. We like to have fun. Hey, listen, this show is rolling. I know we've been going for a while. We'll wrap this up a little bit. I am proud to present this next segment because I get to bow out and let the two experts that know hockey go at it. So I am going to yield the ice is hot to my man Shawnee V and Evan Moneyball Marsh. Take it away.
I'll tell you what, that is the money train on the hockey. Here we go. We got a couple picks for you. Real quick, we're going to give an update. So, Evan, I do want to talk a little Sabres with you. Yep. So the Sabres, we just talked about it before hitting the record button here. Sabres play Boston tonight, down 3-1. It might have even been 3-0. We were busy recording, so I don't know exactly what the game flow was. But 3-1, they battle back. They tied the game at 3, go to overtime for the third straight game, and lose in overtime for the third straight game. Although this game felt a little bit different. Be that the last two Sabres games they played, they basically had a third period lead after being for the most part the better team in both games, and choked the lead away with about 6-5 minutes left and then losing in overtime. This game a little bit of different feel. Not that we had obviously a chance to watch it, but being down 3-1 and battling back to force overtime to then lose it in overtime. They just don't seem like a very good overtime team. Well, that obviously is the thing, but also too, they just they've had problems holding leads in the third period. So still coming together. The one thing that I did want to mention to you that's interesting about the Sabres is even in this game where they were down 3-1, they ended up when all was said and done, the shots in this game were like 40-something to 21 in the Sabres' favor. I've seen something I've never seen before in any season through 10 games. I believe, and I'll have to check this, the Sabres have outshot their opponent in every single game this season, which I've never seen before.
I remember looking at it last year, and we were averaging probably 22, even below that.
Right. And they got outshot most games, and all of a sudden, and I'm not saying it's not producing results necessarily, but some underlying metrics. We talk about analytics and things like that. A team that's going to, generally shoot more is going to score more. I mean, that's just kind of the number, it's a numbers game. So it's interesting that they're getting a lot of shots. So I think that's a good sign for things to come. They're at the 10 game mark right now. Well, technically they're at, I think, 11 now. They're at 4, 4, and 3 after now losing in 3 straight overtime games to get that 3 right there. But they're picking up points. The most seasons as of late, they have been out of the running by American Thanksgiving or Christmas. this team and this year seems like they're going to hang around for a little bit longer if they can kind of maintain a 500 record and continue to get those loser points and kind of just stack points. I do like their chances. I think that with how weak the Atlantic Conference is this season, I think they have a decent chance of making the playoffs. I've said that all along before the season. I'm going to maintain that. But getting back to it, I want to talk about some picks for you and then open it up for any questions you have. I wanted to pick a team. I picked one of the teams, Evan, that you really like. So first, we have – can we get back our graphic, Mike, real quick? Switch. All right. So we have there's one game. It's actually a pretty low, short slate for tomorrow on Friday. But I do like the Detroit and Anaheim game. I would imagine this under-over is probably 6, but I do like to buy it down and then go over. So just looking at a couple their recent games, let me just give you a couple of them. The last couple of times they played head-to-head. Detroit won the last game. They played head-to-head 5-4. The one before that was 6-4 Anaheim, 3-2, 4-3, 3-2, 5-1. When these two teams get together, there doesn't tend to be very much defense. And then also just looking at what the teams specifically that have been doing on their own, Detroit's coming off of 4 straight games of at least 6 goals, including their last 2 games. They won both respectively 5-2 and 6-4 against St. Louis in a home-and-home series. So obviously 7 goals and 10 goals. The game before that was a 9-goal game against the Islanders. So Detroit scoring. Similarly, Anaheim has been giving up a lot of goals, but also scoring. 5 goals out last time, but a decent Florida team that plays good defense. Tampa, the game before that, 7 goals, and a 12-goal outing against Boston. So lots of goals. So I do like that game. I like the over. I believe it'll be 6.5. Buy it down to 5.5. As far as on Saturday, more full slate of games, I obviously like Colorado. Moneyball, sure you'll appreciate this. Colorado has beat San Jose in 10 straight games, head-to-head. Obviously, just 2 teams at different, kind of stages in their builds. Colorado, definitely a contender for the Cup each and every year. San Jose, a team that's basically rebuilding from complete scratch after getting the number 1 overall pick last season. So we like Colorado money line. Probably be a pretty hefty money line, but again, I would think you would parlay these 3 picks together. And last but not least, a team that we like a lot, Evan, Montreal money line against their rival against Ottawa on Saturday. We like Montreal. They are a short favorite. So I like them. They have a lot of value, and I just think Ottawa has a bunch of injuries, including their captain, Brady Tkachuk. So we do like Montreal money line. So Montreal money line parlayed with Colorado money line, and then a tweaked over in the Detroit Anaheim game at 5.5. That is going to pay you a good amount of money, at least 2 or 3 to 1, if not more, for a 3-team parlay. So we're going to ride with that for our parlay of the weekend. We also have, if Mr. Boston Mike is ready, our game of the week. And this is an interesting one. So we have the suddenly resurgent Penguins. We all thought they were kind of really left for dead on Crosby and Malkin and Letang, that trio that won them so many games over the years, won them several cups, got them to several cups, against a team that I like quite a bit, the reigning President's Trophy winner, Winnipeg Jets at home. This is an interesting game. I think this is going to have it as the game of the week. Let me just pull up some quick statistics about this game. Both teams have been playing well, but I do think there's something to be said about Winnipeg at home. They've been really hard to beat. It's been a fortress for them. So this is a matinee game. But Pittsburgh really has been on a tear. They're 5-1 on the road this year, whereas Winnipeg is 4-3 at home, but overall they are 8-3. So they've had a really good year so far. Looks like they're going to try to repeat that President's Trophy performance of last year, leading the league in regular season points. So looking at this game, you have 8-2 Pittsburgh versus 8-3 Winnipeg. So 2 teams that are both playing really well to start the season. And where I like a little bit of an edge. Winnipeg has won 3 out of their last 4 games coming into it. Pittsburgh, not bad. I mean, they've are 2-2 in their last 4, but before that they had won 4 straight. But really, when I mentioned we're gonna side with Winnipeg, but I do think it's going to be a fantastic game with both teams playing fantastic as of late. Winnipeg at home, a really good team, one of the best home teams. And also, and head-to-head, they don't play each other that much, being that they're in different conferences. But Winnipeg has pretty decisively dominated Pittsburgh head-to-head in their last 3, and actually 4 out of 5. And so let me read off some of these scores to you. It's a game that's sure to be good value. If you're going to take Winnipeg, it should be fairly even with how their records being so similar. Winnipeg beat them 4-1 last time out, 6-3 the time before that, 2-1 in a low-scoring game. Pittsburgh did get the better of them at home, 3-0. And then the game before that, to recap, the final game in the last 5, Winnipeg won 4-1. So the 4 out of 5, and Winnipeg has beat them decisively at a combined score of 8-4 in the last 2 home games at Winnipeg. So in a game that I think is going to be a great game overall, 2 teams playing well, I do like Winnipeg to win. But yeah, if you can tune in, you have some time Saturday, maybe in between some college football, throw that game on because it'll be a fantastic hockey game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love the Jets, man. I was kind of on them last year in the playoffs to make a run. I think Hellebuck is one of the best, if not the best goalies in the NHL. So
for sure.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He is great, man. I've seen him make insane saves. So I lean them just on goalie-wise and who's going to be in the net.
Yeah.
I also think them at home is not an easy task. They have a great culture, it seems like, when I tune in their games. I love their whiteouts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. They got it going over there in Winnipeg.
There's not too much to do in Winnipeg, okay?
Right.
You got the CFL team. You got the Blue Bombers. But besides that, Winnipeg is their hockey. It's hockey.
Yep.
So they've been a great team, both regular season and into the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game. But I like the fact that, like you said, you nailed it. Winnipeg definitely has a definitive edge in goal and being at home. And with both teams playing well this year, I don't suspect Winnipeg will be that big of a favorite. They will be a favorite, but maybe a short favorite, maybe minus 150 or less. So I like their value, and I think they will pull this game out.
I also like, how we both already mentioned the Canadians. I think,
Oh, yeah. They're great.
Like, even if they go to overtime, Caulfield's had 3 overtime winners this year alone. So I think they play well in overtime. I think that's what separates them in the division with the Sabres. I think if we had a guy like that performing in overtime, we'd really know what our record would be. So
imagine that. We just lost 3 overtime games in a row, the last 3 games out. And if we had a guy, who could get it done in the clutch in the overtime, man, they would have 3 more wins right now. There's something to be said about. It's a little bit different. Obviously, in overtime, they go to 3-on-3. It really opens the ice. So guys that can skate and scoot like a Cole Caulfield and he could snipe the puck, you have a big advantage out there over guys that are a little bit more lead-footed, I'll say. So, I agree. I'm big on Montreal this year.
Dude, I've loved them since last year. I think Suzuki's also great. I think, their core 3 out there on the ice is some of the best hockey you'll watch in the NHL easily. So.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll see where they go this year. I think that they're a legitimate contender to win the Atlantic. At least the regular season. I think they're going to finish no worse than top 3. They're a very fast team, skilled. So, they're definitely a team I'm scared of. I'll tell you that as a Sabres fan.
Yeah, no doubt. I love everything though, man. That's a great little 3-legger there, honestly.
Yes, sir.
Hey, can we just end on the Blue Jays, please?
The Blue Jays. The Jays getting her done.
One game away from the championship.
They do it. And they're going home, by the way. They're going home to win it in front of their crowd.
I know.
Yeah, man. Just the
Since
greatest.
What, 92 or 93? It's been a while.
Roberto Alomar.
I told you I'll get him.
Yeah.
First game of the series, I told you I'll get him at plus 200 to win the whole thing, and they got 2 opportunities. I think if it goes back to LA, they probably lose that game. But
Yeah.
I think
You got to
for
win
winning,
now. Yeah.
winning on the road, man, I don't see them the entire series. They haven't lost 2 in a row, so
Right.
I think they're in a great spot to get it done and make Drake some money and some some happiness. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, I like it. It's going to be a great series. What's it, tomorrow?
yeah,
Is it traveled?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's a travel day.
yep.
So yeah, obviously I think we all rooting for the Blue Jays. Pretty much everybody I know is rooting for the Blue Jays. You can't root for the evil empire.
No.
And they're local. I mean, people in Buffalo support Toronto, so
I mean, they got
come-
Mookie Betts. I like
Dodgers.
Mookie, but
yeah.
I had a feeling when I was watching the Blue Jays play the Yankees early on in the season, they really owned them the entire year. And if you're looking at just teams that, they were in the damn playoffs last year in the World Series, like they're a real team on paper. So for how they've swept them all year, I was always big on the Blue Jays this year. And to see how it's kind of led to this point, shit, man, just get it done and get that W. Y'all, they deserve it at this point. So
I'll tell you what, Mike, you see that rookie pitcher, who pitched,
dude,
let's say, 13
I
Ks? That kid was on the Bisons last year.
you savage.
Yeah. He played
Yeah.
for
that guy's
Buffalo
only
for
had.
AAA team.
I think he's pitched more playoff baseball than he had in the regular season. I mean,
I know
This kid was
he's got
pitching
the
in
weird
Buffalo.
arm angle. That's what it is. They're working in some other looks because the whole thing in the World Series, you've seen these teams for over 180 games in a year.
Right.
You can bring out a guy like that who is still has strikeout capabilities. I think that's what literally has been the game changer in that game. So,
that's how the Yankees beat the Red Sox.
yeah, man, you bring in a guy like that, it's new energy and it's working. So keep doing it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's all for me. Sean, you want to take us out? Evan, what do you think?
I'm ready, man. Let's get week 9 back on track. Let's get some more underdogs for you guys and for us, honestly. Let's get that value back. So.
Yes, sir. Yes. Go Blue Jays. We'll give a shout out to the Blue Jays. Hopefully,
Definitely go Blue Jays.
get it done. But yeah, other than that, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Boston Mike.
Happy Halloween, trick or
Happy
treat.
Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween. And if you have any extra questions right now, Boston Mike will probably be here right
Ready.
now to answer your Q&A. So go ahead and
I
fire them
will
away.
have been answering all day. I have a costume ready to go.
Let's go.
See you soon.
See you soon, everybody. Go Buffalo.
No bees.